What's up guys, Manny from Motomillion. This is the Panigale V4 Tricolore Italia, and that's 650 Eve. Well, what did you expect guys? 650 Eve showed up with his brand new Tricolore Italia so that we could install the full exhaust for him, because Kyle at Ducati Cleveland was actually quite busy and they were just moving Ducati Cleveland, so it's a big honor that they trust us with this beautiful motorcycle. Of course, us being Motomillion, it's not just going to be an exhaust that we install, we're going to install a bunch of other parts too. Our mission with this bike is to make sure that this bike gets what it deserves, and I think we may end up calling it the Tricolore Italia Speciale, because it's going to be very, very special, even if it's already a special motorcycle. There's only disc boxes here because as we are going to continue on filming and installing these parts, there were some parts overnighted from Italy for this motorcycle that we're also going to install. So enough talking, more working. I got a lot of work on my hands. Alright guys, the stock exhaust is off. Luckily it took only about an hour to get the stock stuff off. As far as I'm concerned, you don't need to remove a lot of the bike like the previous generation where they asked you to remove the rear subframe, the front wheel, the radiator and oil cooler. And while we're there, we actually installed our Evotech radiator and oil cooler guards as well, because when you don't have your header sitting right behind it, it makes it a lot easier to install things. Now, I'm putting together the Akrapovic full race exhaust. There is a few instructions that I gotta follow because I've never done this before. So it's things like this, getting these pipes ready. And also some of the pipes, O2 sensors need some extensions. That comes in the kit. Obviously this is the full race exhaust by Ducati Performance. We also had UPS show up and bring us all those beautiful parts that we're going to install on this motorcycle. There is a lot more to go, so I'm going to get back to working and then I'll check back in when there is some progress. Well, good morning guys, because it's another day over here at Motomillion. We worked tirelessly on this motorcycle. My good buddy Michael Knight came and helped us out, but we got this exhaust on. Everything is bolted on, all the fasteners are tight, so we know that this is the final form of it. We got to do a lot of cleanup with this wiring. I have my digital manual open from Akrapovic to make sure that everything is the way that it's supposed to be. And you're probably taking a look at some stuff behind me right here saying, oh my God, and I mean it, like this is it. This is a statement piece because I call this bike the statement bike, and this blue really fit this motorcycle well. If there was any Ducati to get blue anodized parts, it was going to be this beautiful bike, and if it's going to deserve the name to be called the Motomillion Panigale V4 Tricolore Italia, it had to be a statement piece of itself as well with all these parts that we're putting on it. Let's go to the other side. Let me show you the other side real quick to show you what else is going on here. Of course, this giant piece of a carbon fiber heat shield is a part of our full titanium race exhaust, and we have more Motocorse parts hiding behind here. We did do black on the Motomillion Panigale V4, but as I mentioned, on this beautiful bike, I think blue is very fitting, even right here as the engine mount. I can't wait to see this bike together, but we have a lot more blue parts. I think it's not a lot more. There's a couple more blue parts, but a lot more stuff to install, including some more carbon fiber, because I really mean it. We want to make a statement. But since we want to make a statement, we also want to make a statement with the Motomillion Panigale V4, right? Because we want to make sure that bike deserves the name as well. Let me show you something real quick. This is something brand new that we received. These are the amazing GP4 MS fin calipers that are now available. You could get it by buying a Tricolore Italia for $85,000 and you get them right on there. Beautiful, right? And the Tricolore has some sort of a bluish finish to it, but this one is the nickel-plated shiny finish from Brembo. So we have these. We're going to make a statement with these when we install them on our 2025 Panigale V4, because it's getting these calipers in the front and you guessed it right, the nickel-plated calipers in the back. But before we can even get that bike on this stand, we got to get this bike off this stand. So let me get back to work. I'm going to check back in with you once I have more stuff done on this motorcycle. It's getting beautifuler, if that's a word, by the second as this tape rolls on. So let's continue. Status update. The caliper cooling ducts are about to go on and everything is done on the exhaust system. Obviously you had seen that. We put a lot of WD-40 on it. FullSix carbon fiber frame covers are on. FullSix passenger tail seat covers on as well, and a couple other things over here. Don't worry, you guys will see even more shots of this to come because there's still some stuff that we got to do in the handlebar area, but we're about to pull this bike out so that we could start it for the first time to make sure that there's no leaks and everything is good with the exhaust system. But before that, let me quickly run a recap on what's done on the other side as well, and a couple of things in the back that you haven't seen yet. We installed the Motocorse chain adjusters in blue with the red DBK nut with the Discacciati rotor. And on this side, if you come over here, we have the blue chain adjuster, our signature Sitta rear sprockets with blue thread checker, which is cool, and the DID ERV7 chain is on. The blue is actually really looking good with the gold chain. I'm really liking it. You've seen this. You haven't seen the sprocket cover in red because this bike also has blue and red, so we decided to go with red. And a DBK carbon timing inspection cover. Carbon over carbon is looking really good too. One other thing, brand new, it's the first time that we're using this, is your rear insert for the swing arm. That's by FullSix, it's carbon fiber. It matches the Ducati Performance carbon fiber finish perfectly in the satin finish because FullSix also makes some Ducati Performance parts for them as well. Of course, the frame covers are on this side as well. But I think it's time to put those cooling ducts on, clean up this bench, roll this thing out, hear it for the first time, then I'll come back over here. We're going to deal with the handlebar area. I don't think we're going to go as extreme as we did on the Panigale V4, that is the Motomillion Panigale V4, but we're getting very close to making the world's most beautiful Ducati Panigale V4 Tricolore Italia. Let's first hear it, get it back in here, finish all the final touches, then you guys will see some beautiful shots of this amazing motorcycle. And also if I can get 650 Eve's reactions to it, to what it'll become as the final product that rolls out of here, I really want to see what he has to say. So let's get it out and make some noise. Guys, would you take a look at this? It's finished. I'm so happy to say so. It took us about 2 days to work on it. It was a very late night last night, and you guys didn't get to see some of the stuff that we added on. The blue Rizoma reservoirs, TWM fuel cap. We installed the red caliper spacers and the cooling ducts by Ducati Performance. And if you have a regular V4, don't try to do that. You either install the caliper spacers or the cooling ducts. This bike takes 2 spacers because it has that oversized front disc that's called the T-Drive Pro by Brembo that is specific to this motorcycle over here. We also added a little more carbon fiber in terms of the rear tail cap. Also, we did our first start, we ran out of fuel, so we actually took it out last night and started it again after we added a little bit more fuel into it. And then Ebe said that it's too quiet. He got us to remove the DB killer, which is only on the left side of the bike over here. And you're probably thinking, how are the DB killers out with the meshes inside? You guys might have seen it with our SP2 build, where we actually remove it, cut around the DB killer and put the mesh inside, and it looks like this, because we really think that mesh really looks good on this motorcycle. Also on this side of the bike, we did a few other things. We did some brand new parts. The insert that is for the swing arm in carbon fiber that matches. I think I'm really happy how this turned out. Even blue and black grips. There's so many little details that we tried to do. And as always, we just didn't try to throw parts at it. We really thought of the whole process. Well, it was a big challenge, guys, because think of it, 650 Ebe took delivery of this motorcycle on Thursday. He was here in Miami on Sunday, and during that time, knowing that he's getting the bike that week of that Thursday, we had to get all the parts ordered. And as you can imagine, blue parts are not that common for Ducatis, and we had to make sure that everything was here in time. It took a bit of an effort. We had to overnight some parts from Italy, and thanks for everyone who was involved in it. And I also want to say special thanks to Michael Knight, who really helped us put this thing together, and of course the 650 Ebe. I think what we're going to do now, we're going to pull this bike out and we're going to do what it deserves. We're going to do a full walk around of it to show you the true beauty of this motorcycle. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks beautiful inside here too, but outside in the Miami sunshine, it just looks amazing with the paint job and all the carbon that's on it. And I think it really deserves to get a video of all the details that are now on the motorcycle. And also, I know you guys are probably very interested because this is a very special bike. But I think that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, have a good one.